Welcome back to Apex Sci-Fi. Space is a hostile environment. It is cold, dark, and unforgiving. But do you know where else is cold, dark, and unforgiving? Alaska. The people who live in the Alaskan bush are a different breed of human. They live off the grid. They fight 1,000-pound bears for breakfast. They fix engines at 40 degrees below zero without gloves. They treat survival not as a struggle but as a Tuesday. So, when an alien research vessel lands in the tundra to collect a specimen, they assume the lonely biped chopping wood is vulnerable. They are wrong. They haven't captured a victim. They have invited a raccoon into their pantry. A raccoon with a beard, a multi-tool, and a desperate need for copper wiring. To an alien crew, the Alaskan survivor is not a prisoner. He is a monster who dismantles their ship from the inside out because he thinks the warp drive would make a great heater for his sauna. Today's story is about the cryoscience division of the Glip-Glorp Empire. They landed near Fairbanks. They grabbed Yukon Jack. Jack didn't scream. He just assessed the insulation value of their hull. This is the story of how a spaceship was taken apart by one man with a Leatherman. If you know how to skin a moose and fix a generator in a blizzard, smash that like button. You are the apex predator. And if you want to see an alien beg for mercy because a human turned off the thermostat to save power, subscribe and ring the bell. Winter is coming. And so is Jack. High Scientist Vex floated in the command bubble of the ice prowler. The ship was designed for cold environments, but the crew preferred a cozy ambient temperature. Specimen secured, Security Officer Krell reported. We extracted him from a wooden structure. He was consuming dried meat. Excellent, Vex noted. Bring him to the holding cell. We will analyze his resistance to hypothermia. They tossed Yukon Jack into a containment field. Jack stood up. He was 6'4", wearing a heavy flannel shirt, Carhartt overalls, and a beaver skin hat. His beard had icicles in it. He looked at the energy bars of the cage. He touched one with a calloused finger. Zap. Jack grunted. Low voltage. Maybe 12 volts. Shoddy wiring. Silence, human. Vex projected his voice into the cell. You are a specimen of the Glip-Glorp. Do not attempt to escape. The walls are made of titanium alloy. Jack ignored him. He pulled a Leatherman Wave Plus out of a hidden pocket in his overalls. Titanium, Jack muttered. Good scrap value. And that hinge, looks like a Phillips head. 2 hours later. Vex was monitoring the ship's diagnostics. Beep, beep. Warning, the computer chimed. Sector 4 ventilation offline. Krell, Vex radioed. Go check Sector 4. The fan stopped. On it, sir. 10 minutes passed. Krell? Report. Static. Krell? Vex switched to the internal camera. Sector 4 was empty. The ventilation fan was gone. The grate was removed. And Krell was duct taped to the wall. Krell? Vex shouted over the intercom. Who did this? Krell mumbled through the silver tape over his mouth. The human. Vex realized. He escaped? Oh. The lock was electronic. Krell freed an arm and held up a sign he had written on his data pad. He bypassed the circuit. He said the fan was good parts. He is stealing the ship? Vex gasped. Alert all hands. We have a scavenger on board. Set phasers to kill. The crew fanned out. But the ship was dark. Click. The lights went out in the main corridor. Power failure. Vex screamed. Why is the power out? Jack's voice echoed through the ventilation shafts. You guys were wasting juice. No need to light the hallway if nobody's walking in it. Just common sense. He is in the walls. Vex shrieked. He is lecturing us on energy efficiency while he steals our copper. The temperature began to drop. The aliens, being cold-blooded, started to slow down. Their movements became sluggish. Why is it so cold? Vex chattered, his teeth clicking. Thermostat was set to 72. Jack's voice boomed again. Way too high. You're burnin' fuel for nothing. I set it to a sensible 50 degrees. Put on a sweater. 50 degrees? Vex cried. We will hibernate. We will die. Find him. Vex ordered the remaining guards. Follow the sound of ratcheting. A squad of aliens cornered Jack in the engine room. Jack was knee-deep in the warp core. He had removed the main stabilizer shielding. Stop, the guard shouted. That is the antimatter containment unit. Jack looked up, holding a glowing blue tube. This? Jack asked. This is a beauty. Solid state. Puts out about, 50,000 BTUs? I could rig this up to my water heater. Never take a cold shower again. Put it back. Nah, Jack said. Finders keepers. Also, your alternator belt is loose. I tightened it for ya. No charge. The guard fired a laser. Jack held up a piece of the ship's hull he had ripped off. The laser bounced off. Polished aluminum, Jack nodded. Nice reflection. Gonna use this for a fishing lure. Jack threw a handful of ball bearings at the guard. The guard slipped and fell. Jack vanished into the steam pipes. Vex barricaded himself on the bridge. The ship was freezing. Half the lights were out. The engine was making a weird clunking noise, because Jack took a spare part. We must leave, Vex shivered. This predator, he is dismantling us piece by piece. If we stay another hour, he will turn the navigation computer into a ham radio. Sir, Krell crawled onto the bridge still covered in duct tape residue. He took my boots. Your boots? He said they had good tread. He took them. He is wearing them now. He is wearing our uniform? He called it salvaged. Suddenly the door to the bridge started to unscrew. 1 bolt. 2 bolts. The heavy blast door fell inward with a loud clang. Yukon Jack stood there. He was wearing Krell's space boots, holding the warp core tube, and he had made a necklace out of fiber optic cables. All right, Jack said, wiping grease on his pants. I think I got what I need. But I couldn't find the 10mm socket. You guys got a 10mm? Everybody always loses the 10mm. Vex fell to his knees. Take the ship. Vex begged. Take it all. Just let us go. Turn the heat back on. Heat's fine, Jack said, exhaling a cloud of vapor. Builds character. Anyway, I'm gonna head out. My moose jerky is probably done. Jack walked to the airlock. He looked at the keypad. Don't know the code, Jack muttered. He pulled out his Leatherman. He pried the panel off. He touched 2 wires together. Spark. The airlock blew open. You guys should really upgrade your security, Jack shouted over the wind. A bear could get in here. He jumped out into the snow, carrying 50 pounds of alien technology strapped to his back. The ice prowler limped into the sky. It was listing to the left because Jack had removed a gyroscope. Looked heavy. They left the atmosphere, desperate for the warmth of a nearby star. Vex typed a warning into the galactic database. Danger, Sector Alaska. Inhabitants are resource-obsessed scavengers. They can survive 0 Kelvin. They will strip your vessel for parts. Do not land. Do not bring copper wire. Back in his cabin, Yukon Jack hooked up the alien warp core to his wood stove. It glowed with a hum of infinite power. The cabin warmed up instantly to a tropical 80 degrees. Nice, Jack smiled, cracking a beer. He looked at the alien boots on his feet. Comfy, he nodded. Little flashy but waterproof. He looked out the window at the northern lights. Hope they come back, Jack thought. I forgot to grab that catalytic converter. This has been Apex Sci-Fi. Survival isn't about being strong. It's about having the right tools and knowing when to steal a warp drive. If you have a drawer full of random cables just in case, hit that like button. You are ready for the invasion. Comment below, what is the most useful tool in your kit? Duct tape is the correct answer. Subscribe. And stay warm. End of vlog.